Good afternoon, everybody. I'm attorney L.Chris Stewart with my law partner, Justin Miller, and our law partner, Madeline Simmons of Stewart Miller Simmons. We represent the family of Rayshard Brooks. We're briefly here to address the reinstatement of Officer Rolfe to the force. And it is disappointing to the family, but what is more important is the questions that we have now. We all heard the mayor and the former chief of police come before the world and announce they were firing the officers and justice will come and things of that nature. But we find it mind-boggling that our elected officials and the former chief weren't aware of the proper procedure to fire an officer. So now it is questions of, was that done to temporarily pacify the protesters and the people around the world that were upset? And we find it unbelievable that they didn't know about this process.
TV Network.
Today we're standing here before City Hall. Why Rayshard Brooks? We found out today that the officer who killed Rayshard Brooks, he's going back to the Atlanta Police Department. He's getting a full reinstatement, and people are wondering why. I think the question that we have to ask is, when the charges were given with the police officers, did Paul Howard do all of his due diligence within the police officers, because they are still governed under their constitutional rights? And did Rayshard Brooks, according to his constitutional rights, has he gotten justice? So we all don't know anything about this. We don't even know when the civil case is going to come up.
We're not sure what's going on that front either. I believe that they're waiting on a judge to make a ruling on whether the DA Willis will have to take the case or whether it will go to the Attorney General. But it's the same feeling of limbo and being ignored that we have in the criminal case with the civil case, where we've tried to talk to the city and it just has not been taken seriously. It is a pattern of being ignored.
Where is the accountability? Where is the accountability? If you murder someone, if you murder someone, if you murder someone, you are going to face consequences for your actions. But instead, the city of Atlanta and the leaders who exist in this building choose to move in a different way.
This reinstatement has shown me that officers are apparently above the law and that they are above the system. This decision shows me that there's really no point in a judicial system if officers are going to be able to get away with giving a harsh consequence such as a death penalty for falling asleep in a parking lot of a Wendy's. And this right here shows me that as an organizer, along with the rest of these organizers, we got a lot more work to do.
We're saying, look, let's get everybody together, the police officers and the media, to figure out how could you have better handled that situation, because you could have handled that situation a whole lot better. We're live in front of City Hall, and a lot of people are asking questions. And it's not just about protesting, it's who's going to get justice.
You can talk to any major civil rights attorney in Georgia, and we all came to the state capitol and we complained to all of you that the city of Atlanta does not take civil rights seriously anymore. And we went unheard. And now you see another example where we're forced to drag these cases out in court for years, where there's no justice to the family. And it continues. The city of Atlanta cannot be the alleged blueprint for civil rights for other cities and not actually fulfill that promise. Every other city across this country, we have positively worked with them when it comes to a civil rights case and resolves cases, gotten it done, made reforms with policing, but it's not happening in the alleged city of justice for civil rights.
I'd ask everybody to think about if this was your father or your brother or your son, right? No matter what happened in the incident, he has a family, and the family's being drugged through the ringer right now with all the actions of the city and the police department. You think about it from the very beginning. There's been no compensation for the family. The officer is now back on the force. The officer has not been convicted of any crime. And so you have a person who is going to stand trial for murder, who is now back on the force and able to do the same things he was doing before that caused him to get off the force in the first place. It's ridiculous.
We have everybody out here in front of City Hall, and I tell you, Attorney Gerald Griggs talked about the old civil rights movement versus the new civil rights movement. And what he said is it's the same civil rights movement. Thurgood Marshall started it, Martin Luther King started it, John Lewis started it, and you see that you have young people out here who really care about what's happening with Rayshard Brooks. So this issue lies in the DA's office. I know the mayor wanted to put 250 more officers on the streets. However, this is a recurring problem that we must put a solution to.